So, here's a question for you. Can an artistic language that's like 3,000 years old actually say something new about our world today? I know, it sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, we're about to see how one artist is taking the style of the pharaohs and using it to paint a very modern message right on our city streets.
Okay, so take a look at this. This is an incredible piece of street art. It's so vibrant, kind of chaotic, just full of this raw energy and movement. You can tell it's telling a story of conflict, of struggle, and it's all right there on a public wall for everyone to see. Feels completely modern, doesn't it?
But what if I told you that the blueprint for this, its entire visual language, its DNA really, comes from way, way back, from the time of pyramids and pharaohs, that this whole style was basically written down 3,000 years ago?
Because this is its ancestor. Yeah, an ancient Egyptian tomb painting. The style, the figures, the way it tells a story, it's all right there. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to connect the dots between that ancient wall and the modern one. All right, first things first, we've got to bridge that massive 3,000-year gap. Let's dig into how this ancient artistic heritage, something born in sealed-off tombs and temples, is being brought back to life in the most public places you can imagine, modern city streets.
Okay, so to really get the connection here, we need to understand the basics, the visual language of ancient Egypt. And it really just breaks down into two key things: its totally unique form and its very specific subject matter.
So first up, there's the form. This is basically the look of the art, its unique style. And you've probably seen this before, right? Egyptian art is famous for this super stylized way of showing the human body. You get the head in profile, but the eye is looking right at you from the front. The torso faces forward, but then the legs and feet are back in profile. It's not about being realistic. It was all about clarity and symbolism.
In this image of the goddess Ma'at, it shows that unique form perfectly. Look closely. You can see it. The profile head, that frontal eye, the whole composite view of the body. This consistent look is like the signature of ancient Egyptian art.
Okay, so next up is the subject matter. In other words, what is this art actually about? Well, for the ancient Egyptians, art and religion were totally intertwined. So the subjects were almost always gods, goddesses, powerful pharaohs, and scenes showing the soul's big journey into the afterlife. And here's the thing. This art wasn't really meant for people to look at. It was functional. It was designed to talk to the gods and, make sure you had a good eternal life.
Here's a perfect example. This is an inlay of Thoth, the ibis-headed god of writing and intellect. So see, this isn't just a cool picture. It's a functional, symbolic piece meant to represent a powerful force in their universe. It's there to actually invoke his power. Okay, so now that we've got the language down, let's see how it's being resurrected, and I mean that quite literally, on the walls of our cities by one really fascinating artist.
So this is Allah Awad. He's an Egyptian graffiti artist, and he creates these absolutely massive, breathtaking public murals. This one here is in Luxor, Egypt. And you can see it right away, can't you? He's not just influenced by ancient art, he is speaking its language fluently.
And you don't have to take my word for it. In his own words, Awad makes the connection totally clear. He says, "All of my murals are inspired by ancient Egyptian art, albeit with a modified and more contemporaneous feel." So he's very consciously taking this ancient style and giving it a modern twist.
But the big question is, why? It's one thing to copy an old style, but how does he actually translate it into a message that means something in the 21st century? This right here is where his work gets really, really powerful.
Okay, check this out. The connection here is just undeniable. On the right, you've got a historical image of Ma'at. She's the Egyptian goddess of truth, balance, and justice. And on the left, the centerpiece of Awad's mural. Just look at that visual echo, the spread wings, the iconic pose. He is talking directly to that ancient image.
So he's directly borrowing the form of Ma'at, her wings, that pose, her whole regal presence. And he knows that for Egyptians, and really for a lot of people around the world, this is an instantly recognizable symbol. It screams truth, balance, and justice.
And this is the brilliant move he makes. He takes a symbol that once spoke to the gods inside private tombs, and he puts it out in public squares to speak to the people. It becomes a call for that same cosmic balance, that same justice, but for the very real, very modern struggles happening in Egypt today.
And by doing this, Awad's art becomes this incredibly powerful reminder. It's a call for people to remember their own deep cultural heritage, a heritage that was literally built on ideas like justice, and to then stand up for those very same rights today. It's this beautiful bridge connecting the ideals of the past with the struggles of the present.
So this all brings us to the most important question, really. Why does any of this matter? Why go to all this trouble to bring an ancient art form into the 21st century? Well, for Alaa Awad, the answer isn't just about making cool art. It's about survival.
And honestly, he puts it perfectly himself. He says, I must make people remember this culture, this history, because we can lose it. And we can't know our future if we forget our past. So his murals, they aren't just beautiful to look at. They're acts of cultural preservation. They're a bridge connecting generations.
Which kind of leaves us with this one fascinating thought, doesn't it? Alaa Awad found a voice for today hidden in the art of ancient Egypt. And it really makes you wonder, what stories from our own pasts are just waiting for a modern wall to give them a voice again?